What's up, YouTube? It's Antithesis. I'm just here to shake my fist at the void again, just kind of uselessly and aimlessly. But I wanted to just talk about an individual named Stevie Knight. If you don't know who this is, first of all, consider yourself lucky. Second of all, I watched Stevie Knight or came across him a few times in the past because I watch a lot of different random YouTube content. And every now and again, I would come across a Stevie Knight video and I would just watch it for, it's usually reaction content. And I never really knew anything about his politics. He never really talked in the videos that I watched that much. He never really talked about anything at all. It was just reaction videos. And when he did talk, whenever he opened his useless yap to start talking, I would just skip back to the part where he's reacting to the thing I'm actually interested in. Anyways, point being, I never really got a particular vibe from him as a conservative or any real political affiliation. But lately, I noticed that YouTube, because I never subscribed to him or anything. He's always kind of just popped up in my feed and my algorithm and, as like a random reaction video or something. And lately, I've noticed over the last year, maybe it's been a little less than that, but whenever I see Stevie Knight's videos pop up in my my algorithm or whatever, and I'll click on them sometimes, but then I noticed he started wearing the fucking cowboy hat, and he started doing more red pill kind of shit where he would talk a little bit more about women and, womanly behavior and these men acting feminine, acting like female. He started doing that whole red pill bullshit, but still not quite conservative. Didn't really come across as a full-blown conservative. Just kind of like an idiot, random, dude on the internet was kind of the vibe I got from him, right? Nothing too impressive in one way or the other. But anyways, lately, I've been noticing a lot more the turn of his content has been more conservative. I don't think he had the cowboy hat actually when he started doing the red pill stuff. I think he started just doing the cowboy hat thing when he started this conservative grift. If you are under the illusion that, first, let me back up a little bit. If you haven't seen it yet, there's a video of Abba from Abba and Preach debating Stevie Knight about Charlie Kirk and a video that Abba made about Charlie Kirk. And if you haven't watched the debate, I suggest you watch it just because it's kind of funny to see Stevie Knight never commit to anything because he doesn't believe anything because he's a fucking soulless grifter and it's obvious as shit. But it's still kind of funny to watch him squirm. It's kind of fun. So I would encourage you to watch it if for no other reason than to watch him squirm. But the debate itself, there's nothing there. It's just Abba being correct again and again and again and again. Abba's a little bit more, he's a little too soft for me. I don't really like the whole hand-holding, but we all want the world to be a better place. No, they don't. No, they don't. Anybody at this point who's still supporting Donald Trump, anything he's done, or people like Charlie Kirk or anything he's done or said, if you're still supporting those individuals, I no longer believe this lie that we've been telling ourselves that your heart's in a good place and you just are misguided. At this point, I don't think that's true. I think you're certainly misguided. But at this point, I think that if you're misguided enough that you're supporting Trump and Charlie Kirk and people like that who support the things that they support, it can no longer just be misguided. It's like there's some malice there too. That's my opinion. I'm sure there are a bunch of people who support Trump and everything that aren't malicious. In my experience, those are the people that are that are the easiest to talk to, the easiest to convince, because those are people that are, for more or less, even if they do believe some ridiculous shit, more or less their heart's in the right place, so they care more about the world being a better place than protecting their own ego around their worldview. But that's not the case with the people typically that support people like Charlie Kirk. Usually they're more, either they're commentators themselves, as in the case of Stevie Knight, or content creators, I should say, or they're political pundits that actually go on TV, actually make money by pushing these talking points. They don't actually care about anything they're saying. They don't believe in anything they're saying. Well, some of them probably do. Most of them don't. They don't. They're just saying it just to get a paycheck. They're willing to say whatever to whoever to make the money. That's it. And Stevie Knight kind of strikes me as that kind of person. If you watch the debate, it's just like watching this motherfucker do gymnastics. Like watching him avoid every point that Abba makes. This motherfucker just casually, neo dodges it. It's like, bro, just answer the question. Just commit to a fucking point. Why are you so scared? What are you afraid of? Are you afraid because you don't actually want to commit to any of the points that you believe because you know they're fucking hideous and they're indefensible? Is that why? Could it be that you know that if you cop to actually being a conservative, that people are going to look at you as a fucking hack? Is that possibly why? I don't know. You can decide that if you want, I guess. I mean, if you watch the video and you think differently, you can be wrong. I'm fine with that. But yeah, Stevie Knight is this one is a particularly fun case for me because Stevie Knight, in my opinion, is not really, well, not in my opinion, factually, he's not somebody I paid that much attention to. So all of the observations that I'm making of his content and him as a person in terms of his politics, I don't know anything about him as a person, but his politics, at least from what he says, what he's willing to present, everything that I can gather from that is he doesn't know either. Well, people think he doesn't know what he believes. I think he knows what he believes. I think he understands who pays the bills. I think he understands who his audience is. And I think he knows he's cultivated an audience of people that want to hear the same slop, the same mindless garbage that they can get on Fox News, but they want to do it in a format that they can convince themselves that they're not in taking formal mainstream media, traditional mainstream media, when it's all the same messaging nonetheless. I was going to watch some of the videos. I was going to make a point, but I forgot. I was going to watch some of the videos he made, some of his videos, some of his content to kind of just see if he's actually grifting, how hard he's grifting. Because I know he's grifting at this point. After that performance against ABBA, there's no question in my mind that he's grifting. He's obviously grifting. He's presented with a point that makes perfect sense. He'll even say, well, that makes sense. I see what you're saying. I understand exactly why you're saying that. Okay, then motherfucker, what's the holdup? What's taking so long? What's going on? If he's successfully led you to water, what the fuck is taking you so long to bend down and drink? I don't understand what the confusion is here. But it makes more sense if you view it through the lens of he's a grifter. And I genuinely think I think some conservative money has found him. I think there is a network of conservative, not necessarily outlets, but a network of conservative interests that are dedicated to pushing conservative propaganda on the internet. And one of the easiest ways to do that is through manipulating smaller channels, larger channels, to push your messaging in a subconscious way. And that's what Stevie Knight does. He pushes all the same talking points as all the conservatives. If you listen to the debate, he thought that kids didn't deserve school lunch. We shouldn't really try to do anything to make, shootings better because bad shit happens. And he says all the same shit that Charlie Kirk said, that everybody else says on that side. They turn these beliefs out in a factory. He believes all the same things. He'll cop to all of he won't cop to it, but he'll say all of the same talking points. But when it comes to actually committing to the point or committing to the bit, committing to the belief, his nuts shrivel up and he just fucking runs away like a bitch. The instant he has to actually take what he believes and stand on it and say, yeah, this is my opinion. I think this and this is why I think it, blah, blah, blah. He doesn't even do that. And I think that's because he doesn't know how to defend his beliefs, because I don't think they're actually his beliefs. I think he's just saying whatever it takes to make the money. That's what I think. If you disagree, that's fine. Like I said earlier, you could be wrong. I'm cool with that. Stevie Knight is a grifter. He's a soulless grifter. He doesn't believe in anything. I'd be surprised if he thought of any of his beliefs for more than like a second. And I was going to watch some more of his content to see about his shift. I was going to say this earlier, but I forgot. I was going to watch some more of his content to see the shift in his content more precisely, but I don't give a fuck enough to watch Stevie Knight videos. I'll be honest with you. I genuinely don't care enough about what he has to say, especially after that performance with ABBA. I only watched the performance, honestly, the debate rather. It was a performance, but I only watched the debate because I thought that, this guy has been kind of gradually shifting to the right over the course of the last few years that I've, been kind of passively seeing his content pop up on my algorithm, my feed. I wonder what he's actually about. Let's see what he actually believes. Is he going to stand on these beliefs? Is he actually turning right? Or is he just kind of gesturing that way and I'm misunderstanding because I don't watch a lot of his content? But nope, that was foolish. Every belief that he has to defend in order to grift to his right-wing audience, he took. Every single one. Every one that came up, at least. But, yep, that's what I think of Stevie Knight. Piece of shit, grifter. No reason to take him seriously. It's nice to know that now. But yeah, if you are a Stevie Knight fan, I'm curious. What do you think? Watching him, that's what I'm most curious about. I don't give a fuck about Stevie Knight, honestly. He's a mouthpiece. He's a grifter. I don't give a shit about Stevie Knight that much. What I'm interested in, if you are a person that likes Stevie Knight, what do you think? I'm genuinely curious. Do you believe that he did a good job at representing his beliefs? Do you share those beliefs? You know, because I'm curious because a lot of his beliefs are kind of monstrous. I don't know if you noticed that, but do you share those beliefs? You know, do you feel like he did a good job? Are you disappointed? Was the veil lifted at all? Like, was the spell fucking broken? You know, did anything reach you, or was it just too late? Is that no? The man in the debate said something to the effect of, "I don't need facts. I don't need to look it up. I don't need to Google it." Like, are you proud of that? Is this your king? Like, you're proud of this guy? You're proud of this? You know, you're proud. What should I say? Is this your knight? You see what I did there? Because his name. But anyways, uh, like, are you proud of that performance? Like, does that make you feel proud to hold those beliefs? I'm just curious. I'm genuinely curious. I'd be open to talking to anybody who wants to talk about this and just to get an idea of where people are who actually like Stevie Knight or Charlie Kirk for that matter. Because if you haven't seen my video on Charlie Kirk, I made my positions clear on Charlie Kirk. I don't really give a fuck. The world's better off without him, personally. It's my belief. Yeah, let me know. Let me know. I'm curious in the comments. Let me know what you think. And don't just come in here and fucking whine that I'm, making fun of your daddy. Make a point. Argue with something I said. Say, hey, you were wrong when you said this or that or whatever. Make a point. That's all I'm looking for here. But anyways, let me know what you think if anybody comes across this out there in the void. And I'll be paying attention to see what people have to say because I'm genuinely curious. But that's it for this video. So I'll see you guys next time that I decide to shake my fist at the void. Take it easy.